Welcome students. My name is Dr. Belinda Lopez and today we are looking at the decision support system. Now, decision support system. Now we need to understand how decisions are made, and especially when we are talking in terms of the extension education agencies. Extension education agencies are organizations that are working with the people at the grassroots level. And the concept, as all of you all know, extension education agencies are bridges between information and knowledge providing organizations, information and knowledge developing organizations, networks, and a host of other groups and people are connected by the extension agencies to people at the grassroots levels. Extension agencies act as that bridge and they connect and network people. That's the job of the extension agencies. Okay. Now, for these agencies are of different kinds. These extension agencies could be of different kinds because their focus are very different and distinct. For example, it could be an extension agency working on forestry issues. It could be an extension agency working on home related issues. It could be an extension agency working on health related issues. So the extension agency is an agency which is very distinct because their focus, the knowledge focus is very different. Each of them will have different kinds of focus. Now, when they are focusing on a particular sector, and whatever the sector is, they have a varied list of issues that they have to address. Extension agencies therefore will require information related. Now, supposing we are talking about an extension agency which is focused on home science, since we are home science, now we have to get information from agencies which are working on nutrition. We have to look at agencies which are related to textiles and clothing. We have to look at agencies which are looking at the resource management of the family. So we have to look at agencies which are taking care of, which are focused on child care. So we have, while these agencies are developing information, while they are doing their research, we as extension agencies need to relate to these agencies, get the information that they have and carry it to the people in the community. Now, if this has to happen, we are interacting with a wide variety of agencies. And when this happens, we need to make information and we need to take information on varied topics. In such cases, extension agencies has to develop a system wherein they are collecting information that is required by the people and also take that information to the people, translate the information into knowledge and take it to them. So there is a wide number, numerous informations that are coming in and wide levels of information that has to be taken. Lots of decisions have to be made. It is important that the agency is able to plan its programs and implement them so that it is able to bring about sustained development in the community in whichever it is working. In order to bring about sustainability, extension agency requires to collect information from multiple sources and disseminate the same to different people in different formats. For example, a family might face some health issues, and that might kind of bring about a kind of a financial crisis in the family. Now, when this happens, the extension agencies needs to address the immediate health problem. They need to address the family's financial issues. They need to address the family's emotional issues. So they need to address various kinds of issues. In such situations, the agency will have to coordinate with the health department. The agency will have to coordinate with the social welfare department. The agency will have to coordinate with financial departments. So you see, one single problem of a health crisis of the breadwinner in the family is bringing about a need for the extension agency to link up with numerous agencies. And when we are working with different agencies, based on the intensity of these problem that is faced by the family in the community, the extension agency will have to develop its plan of action. The extension agency will have to make decisions about the kind of assistance that it's going to provide, what kind of assistance it's going to provide to the family. In such cases, the source of information are numerous and extension agencies have to develop a mechanism to make informed decisions. Ever so often it becomes difficult for the personnel at the extension agencies to make a decision which is multidimensional. it is in such situations that the advances in technology, especially in communication technology, were adopted to assist extension personnel in decision making. Raw data, secondary data, related documents, project modules, impact studies, personal knowledge, etc. are all blended by the computer to assist in solving problems and making decisions. The system of making informed decisions with the assistance of and the use of computers is called decision support systems. Now, this decision support system is a computer-based information communication technology system designed to assist people in managerial positions make effective decisions. It provides them with an alternative and assists in selecting solutions which are most impactful. Automating some of the decision-making processes is possible, especially in large computer-based DSS, decision support systems that are sophisticated and capable of analyzing huge amounts of information. The problem and its nature itself play an important role in decision-making processes, and the DSS provides a larger framework to take decisions. It's an interactive computer-based system which has organized modules, procedures, software, databases, telecommunication devices, and people who help decision makers solve unstructured and semi-structured problems. In order to understand the computerized process of decision making, it's important to have an insight into the decision making process itself. Now, what is decision making? It's basically a skill. It involves the application of systematic methods to solve problems and share responsibility. Before decisions are made, cross-checking is very, very important. Cross-checking of the sources of information, identifying what are the alternates for the problem, followed by discussion on enhancing consequences, finally providing rationale for the decisions taken. Now, when decisions are taken, that whole concept of decision making is meant for activation of the project, monitoring and completion. And also we take decisions so that we retain the perspective of the project. It's important that we retain the perspectives and control the direction in which the project is moving, because ever so often when we go out there into the field, we might lose control over the directions. Delineating the issues related to the project and analysis of the demarcated issues, organizing them in such a way that the problems are solved, is what decision making is about. Based on the information present with the project shift, inhibit, change, or even stop activities. Now, what are the kinds of information that is required when we are making any kind of a decision? If you have to take a good decision, you definitely need certain basic kinds of information. What is that? Is basic and relevant information is required. Then a criteria has to be developed to take decisions. And what are the factors affecting decisions should also be both qualitative and quantitative. The source of information, from where we are getting the information, that is very, very important. And the format of the information also plays an important role. It is the kind of format that the information is provided assists in making decisions. Many a time, the same information, when presented in different formats, will assist in taking strong decisions. Information is also from unrecorded sources such as experience and insights have to be considered. Now, let's just, before we go understand and kind of define what a decision support system is, let's see how this whole process evolved. It's a method of making decisions, and when it started, we started using computer technology. It was an outcome of all the theoretical studies that were conducted on decision making processes in organizations, and also the combination of technological development by the information systems researchers and technologists. So when this kind of in-depth theoretical studies started taking place in these two components, we started developing the decision support systems. There were frameworks which converged different strains of technology and we were able to come up with this system which was able to assist managers. The system initially assisted managers in working alone, and later on it was able, as technology developed, it was able to work in teams, and later on in large scale organizations, multinational companies were also able to use this. In the 1960s, the model that was used was to formulate alternatives. That was all what was, the DSS was able to formulate alternatives, and it was able to analyze impacts of those alternatives. It was able to interpret and select appropriate options. Tasks that were associated with DSS was job scheduling, forecasting, product usage, cost estimation. Basically, it was used in the technology manufacturing aspect of the industry. Now, this was adapted by the extension later, but it evolved there. It evolved in the manufacturing industry. The advent of the web-based technology facilitated inter-organizational decision-making support systems. Presently, we have mobile tools, we have mobile e-services, wireless internet are making big impact on the application of decision support systems. The type of decision support systems that we have can be categorized into 5 different types. First one is the communication-driven DSS. Here, when we're talking about communication-driven DSS, means it is these chats, instant messaging, online collaborations, net meetings. All these are decision support systems which are communication-driven. Then we have something called the data-driven DSS. And this is computer data systems, which includes a query system to inquire. The web or the main framework or a client server links are ways through which the database is deployed. It is used mainly to incorporate data and add value to the existing databases. These types of DSS are developed mainly for managers. Document-driven DSS. Here it is the web companies use the web as an application development, delivery and executing arena. This is considered as a document-driven DSS, and it is used as a showground to create a collaborative community-based sites which are application software runs and the web rather than being installed on individual computers. Then we have knowledge-driven DSS. Information when applied is considered to be knowledge. Knowledge-driven DSS are processes wherein a system is able to create, store, transfer and apply information. The knowledge-driven DSS assists in increasing the ability of the organization to learn from the environment and incorporate the learnings into the organization's process. Then we have the model-driven DSS. These can be used by standalone computers. They assist in decision making by helping to analyze or choose from available data. Then we need to look at the components or the architecture of the decision support system. In order to assist in the process, the computer components includes, now we have 2 parts here. One is the computer components, and for the computer components, when we're talking about the computer components, it is the database or the storing of data. The user interface. This allows the user to create, update, delete the database files and things like that. And the DSS software, that is a program and operating system. Okay, so this is the computer components. Then we also have the DSS databases, which is called the collection of current data and data warehouse facilities. The user interface permits interaction between the users of the system and DSS software on the computer. Then the user of the system and the web-based interface. The DSS software contains tools for data analysis, data mining, collection of mathematical models, analytical models and others. Now the structure of the DSS. Any system or process must have a structure in order to function effectively. A structure is the arrangement of relationships between the different components of something complex. The DSS is composed of 3 different and distinct constituents. It is only when they are provided with a structure that they are able to function effectively. A DSS consists of 2 parts, the decision level and the technology level. At the decision level, the early frameworks consisted of 4 parts, that is intelligence, the ability to judge by searching for conditions that need decisions. We look at the design part of it, that is analyzing and developing alternatives. Then we also have another thing called the choice. We have to make the right choice, that is selecting an option. Then we are looking at implementation. This is incorporating the choice into the organization's working condition. To the technological level, there you have the application. That is a program designed to perform a specific function. That's called application. Then we have something called the generator. That is the hardware and the software which is the basic technology that we are using. Then we have something called the tools. That's a lower level hardware and software with such as special languages and linking module. The next thing that we need to look at is the characteristics of the decision support system. This is a computer system capable of handling large amounts of data. The computer system is able to receive and process data from different sources into a single program, including internal and external data stored on mainframes and systems and networks. Now, the next thing is the reports and presentations designs can be flexible to suit decision makers' needs. Multimedia options can be inserted. It has the ability to perform complex, sophisticated analysis. Then comparison also is possible. Where do we apply the decision making support system? Go down. Information communication technology, popularly known as ICT, is a rapidly growing system wherein computers and software are applied to bring about development. One of the many applications of ICT is to assist people make informed decisions. Decision support systems are computer-based softwares to assist decision making. When organizations are large, quantity of information available is huge. The number of people involved in the process of decision making is huge. That's when we use the decision support systems. Then it is when we need something wherein interaction is necessary, when there's a requirement for large amount of interaction, then we have the software which is able to help in decision making. Then another time when we use a DSS is when the volume of information is really large. When lots of information is available and which requires the basis on which the decisions have to be taken, then we use a DSS. DSS also is used when we need to optimize the decisions and we need to structure a particular decision. That is when we use a DSS. It helps in structuring the decision making process. Go on. Now, what are the benefits of DSS? Now, the basic function benefit of DSS it accelerates the decision making process. Organizations are able to, another benefit of the DSS is organizations are able to manage their processes better, and it provides scope for examination of the alternates. Problems can be addressed immediately because of the use of DSS. And it also smoothens the process of interpersonal communication and assists in advancing the learning and also training programs. It creates new evidence in support of decisions taken. It also provides a competitive edge over competition. It helps uncover new approaches to thinking about problem spaces. DSS also helps in automated managerial processes. It becomes very automated and this assists in decision making. Improves personal efficiencies. People are able to increase their efficiency through the use of softwares. Then provides suggestions and also provides recommendations. Subspecialties of DSS. Every field has a study is made up of different specialities, and this field also has some specialities. Specialities that are available. We have developing specific DSS. Here, when we're talking about this, specific DSS systems are created for different sectors. Then developing the DSS theory. That's another sub-subjects. Okay. Then we also have how this study contributes to other disciplines. There is also the component of organizational perspectives here. Now, how does based on that, decision support systems are designed, because each organization has its own perspective. Decision support systems implementation is also based on the organization's perspective. Evaluations that organizations undertake also depends on the perspectives, which varies from organizations to organization. We need to understand how DSS helps in community development, population growth. And the DSS helps in analyzing the kind of population growth that are happening. It also helps in understanding the population growth rate, like what are the migration patterns, what are the causes of migration, is it geographic locations which are impacting migration patterns, is it due to development of the country, or is it because of urbanizations, what are the policies of that control human relocation and development. All these are possible because of the DSS. Sustainable development in coastal areas, decision support systems for regional and urban planning is a fantastic component, because here we are able to, components of decision making, because using the geographic information systems we are able to make a lot of decisions. It also helps in assessment of the environmental and social impacts. Multiple criteria evaluation and decision making is possible. Then land sustainability analysis is also possible. The one important feature of DSS is the vital role it has played in the organized sector, and it is capable of bringing in systems into any kind of an organization. DSS helps in bringing systems into organizations, systems and procedures, which assists in running of organizations. This is the one key important thing that has to be recognized. Okay, in conclusion, what we could say about the decision supporting software is that the software is able to bring in systems and procedures and help in using large amounts of data for decision making. National level data can be used, state level data can be used, and decisions can be taken based on the data that is available, and impact studies could be undertaken because of the use of the software.